Hello, my name is Dylan Anderson. I am a partner at Johnston, Morrison Hunter. We teamed up with Medicine Hat Chamber to do some videos in regards to the COVID programs available for those people who have been financially affected by COVID. So today we're going to talk about the Canadian Recovery Benefit, that is CRB for short. We want to talk about what it is, who can apply, how much you can receive, the income threshold that you need to be aware of when you file your personal tax return. There could be some of this paid back to the government. There are claim periods and deadlines that we'll talk about and how to apply. And if you do have to make a payment back, we'll talk about how you can go do that. So CRB is just an income supplement, I guess, for those who have stopped working from COVID or have had a 50% reduction in their average weekly income, and it has to be related to COVID. And you cannot be eligible for EI. This is what this program is for those who didn't pay into EI, but are affected by COVID, so they can't go to the EI department to collect. That's where this kicks in. So who is eligible? Who can apply? Like I said, it's for employed or self-employed people who have stopped working due to COVID, or their weekly income is 50% or more less than it was in the previous year. So you look at your 2019 annual income, divide that by 52 weeks to get your weekly income. And if your income this week is less, 50% less of that number or more, then you are you might be eligible to claim this. The next is you have to have made at least $5,000 in employment income, that is gross, or you have to have had net income of $5,000 from a self-employed business. So if your gross revenues were $10,000 and you had $5,000 worth of expenses, you're good to go. But if your net income was less than that five, unfortunately, this wouldn't be for you. The other item that they are considering is maternity leave. If you were claiming that in a year and that money ran out, potentially you can fall under this program as well. You can't claim this if you've received the Canadian Recovery Sickness Benefit, Canadian Recovery Caregiving Benefit, EI benefits, short-term disability benefits, and the Quebec parental insurance plan, which I don't think anybody here would be worrying about. Here's kind of an interesting spot is you cannot have quit your job voluntarily. You can't just quit your job and then claim this. And you have to be seeking for employment. So that's kind of the key here is you have to be able to prove that you're actually looking for a job. And so what that might look like could, potentially be text messages, emails to potential employers, that kind of thing. You want to keep proof of you trying to find a job in this COVID world that we're in. If you did turn down work and CRA was able to find that, you'd be in a lot of trouble. You basically will no longer be eligible for this program for any of the weeks. So certainly don't want to be refusing work while you're claiming this program. You also have to reside in Canada, be in Canada, be at least 15 years of age, and have a social insurance number. So how much can you receive? There is 13 eligible periods. Now, each period is a 2-week period. And so there's 13 eligible periods. That's $1,000 each period. So up to $13,000 you could receive between September 27th, 2020 and September 25th, 2021. Also note that on the top of my slide there, I tell you that it's $1,000. You're actually only going to receive $900. They've decided to withhold $100 in income taxes because when you file your tax return, potentially you'll have taxes owing from this. So they're withholding $100. Now it's only 10%. So if you're earning, more than $20,000 in a year, that 10% withholding potentially isn't enough, and there's still going to be more taxes on that $1,000. So just be aware of that. Similarly to the CERB, so this is the CRB, and previously it was CERB. There were 7 periods that you were able to claim $2,000 each period. That's 14 grand. That one, they didn't withhold any income tax. So if you're one of the individuals have already claimed that 14,000 and are claiming this, just be aware that that 14,000 is taxable. They didn't withhold any income tax on that. Add this on top of it. There's probably going to be some taxes when you do go file your tax return. Okay, the income threshold. This is different than that CERB, the $2,000 a month. So in this one, they have decided that if you file your tax return in for 2020, so April of 2021, when you're filing your 2020 tax return, and you claimed some of the CRB from September 27th to the end of December here, if your net income on that tax return is greater than 38,000, they will ask you to pay 50 cents for every dollar over and above. So let's say you are at $40,000, you're $2,000 over that 38,000 threshold. So 50 cents for every dollar is a $1,000 payback. So what will happen is when you file your tax return showing $40,000 worth of income, you are going to have to pay back that $1,000, and that's going to be right part of your tax return. So it's going to be right included in that tax bill for you. So just be aware of that, because that people might not realize that that's what's going to happen. The other thing is, if you are claiming this and you realize right now that you're already over that threshold, you can pay that back. And I'll talk about how you can do that if you're wanting to pay that back now instead of waiting when you file your tax return. For those who would like to have a better understanding of what's included in that 38,000, it's going to be all your gross income from any of your employment income that you've received in the year. That's the gross amount. Plus any of your net business income, your sole proprietor business income, so your revenue less your expenses related to that. And it's going to include the CERB, any other government programs that you may have had, any EI that you've claimed in the year, any investment income, any RSP income, any money you receive basically that is normally reported on the tax return is part of that number. So just be aware of that. I guess a good point here is the income that you received from the CRB is not included in that number. So if you were claiming $1,000 for a couple of periods here, the 38,000 is before that, but it does include the CERB, that $2,000 a month. It does include that. It just doesn't include this income from this program, but it includes all the other program incomes. What periods can you claim? So you do have a deadline to claim these periods. So you have 60 days after that period has gone away. So right now, the only periods you're able to claim is from December 6th to December 19th, then the November 22nd to December 5th, November 8th to November 21st. And then the next period coming up is on the screen there from December 20th to January 2nd. So just be aware that these periods are dropping off. As you can see, period 1, 2, and 3 are no longer available to be claimed. So if you fall under this these eligibility requirements, you better get in there and claim these periods. How do you apply? Basically, the best way to apply is to set up an online account with the Canada Revenue Agency. Most people have made any claims with the government through COVID here will already have a My Account for individuals. Those who don't have one, it's pretty easy to set one up. Basically, just go to Google, type in exact words there, My Account for Individuals, Canada.ca. It'll be the first search that comes up. Just make sure that it is Canada.ca website. You go down, you click on that, you scroll down to option 2 and either sign in or you register. And when you register, you're going to need your last tax return and some information from that. You'll put in that information, you'll set up an account, and then they'll give you a nice, simple, restricted account that you can go in and apply for these benefits. And then if you actually want full access to your My Account, then they'll mail you a code and you can get up a full access account, which is kind of handy because it does have all your tax returns on there and any T slips that the government might have under your account. So a lot of your employment income slips will be under there, and you can see your account balances and that kind of thing. Once you have it set up fully, if you discover that maybe you claimed one of these and you weren't supposed to, you can actually pay back that amount right in that account, My Account. So that's one of the ways you can pay it back. The other way is when you file your tax return, if you're over that threshold, then you're going to automatically pay that back through your taxes. And then the final option would be to actually call the government and have to go that way. But if anybody's called the government, they know it can take a little bit of time to get through and get worked through that stuff. So hopefully this video has helped some people in this aspect. If you did have any questions or wanting some help, you can reach me at this contact here. Hopefully those who are been impacted, hopefully things turn around quickly for everybody. And yeah, and so just take care.